Hi everybody, this is Fab Dupont from PureMix.net. Welcome to New York City, where my spot, Flux Studios, is located. Today we're going to perform a major upgrade on the Inspiration Room at Flux by installing an expanded system of the next generation Apollo interfaces. And then one of my favorite bands called DEDE is going to come in, take over the room and take advantage of the new Unison preamps and the Realtime DEDE plugins and all the shiny new stuff we installed to finish the song. Grab your popcorn. Here we go. So I'm just going to show you a little bit how it works so you can be functioning on your own. We have 3 Apollos down there and a 4th one here. That's the Apollo console. Basically, think of this as an input console.
Okay.
And this is the monitoring section here on the right. All right.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to show you is the setup, because it's kind of cool. You're more of a Logic user.
Yes.
I'm more of a Pro Tools user.
All right.
The beauty is now you have this window called Core Audio, where you can actually reorganize all the physical outputs and inputs of the whole system. Because the minute you start connecting all the Apollos together with the Thunderbolt cable, they basically behave as one system.
Oh, great. So you can change the I/O labels?
You can change all the I/O labels, and you can decide what your DAW is going to see.
Okay, great.
So for example, here I have a Pro Tools system that has 32 inputs and 32 outputs because that's Pro Tools limitation.
Right.
But I could use another I/O preset for Logic, for you, for example.
Okay.
And it would reorganize everything automatically on the fly, and then you launch Logic and you see exactly what you want to see.
Okay.
So the booth is where I put drums.
Okay.
And I have 6 lines. And then there's 2 DIs, which are the 8 PDIs up there.
Okay, great.
Right on the front of the Apollo.
The bass and guitar?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
And then 4 in the lounge.
That's the root right here.
We'll probably
put vocals. Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
All right.
Then an extra 4 lines in case you have more stuff. And then the Apollo 16, every synth in the room is connected straight to the back of the Apollo 16. So if you hit the keyboard, then you'll get sound right away.
So it's not just for show?
No, it's real time. Like, because the console is real time and has no latency and is independent from the DAW. Something else you need to know is in the hardware pane right here, you have a visualization of all 4 Apollos that are in the system. The cool stuff is you can reorganize the order in which they show up. And this actually influences which order they show up here in the console in the background. Also, you need to know that this little icon here decides which of your Apollos is your monitor section. Because they all have a monitor section, but now they work as a system. So you have to say, that one is going to be my monitor section. And that is the one you'll be able to remote control from here. Because no matter what.
Okay, the monitor, that controls the monitor. Okay.
The volume and the mute.
Right. Gotcha.
Basically, they did this so you can park your Apollos in a rack and still have this on your desktop.
Great.
Now, the really cool thing about this is that this is still active. So you can still plug a guitar in here and a microphone in the back.
Okay.
These are Q-Sense. You can configure the Q-Sense to your liking. In this window here, you decide which is your monitor section. Right. That also decides which is the unit that you're going to use for your Q outputs. Okay. That's over there on the right. Gotcha. So you can decide this way. Q1, whatever you send to Q1 will be sent out line 1, 2 from that interface. Okay. And then Q2 will be line 3, 4. So line 1, 2 will go to the booth. 9, 3, 4 will go to the thing.
So that's separate. This will be the separate mixes. This
2 separate mixes. You can have up to 4.
Right. And this is where we assign it. Okay.
Exactly. So this is where you assign the routing. Right. And then you go, say, for example, DEDE was probably be launch 1. You say, okay, DEDE, you want to hear yourself? And you can raise herself into Q2 because Q2 is the lounge. Gotcha. And now she's going to hear herself. If you want to send vocal to the drummer, you raise here. Just a classic thing, except it's software and it's memorized because you can save this entire thing into a preset. Oh, that's great. And then once you have that saved, you can recall it. So if you do another session in the same spirit, everything comes back right away. Oh, great. So I showed you how to set up the cues. I showed you the sounds here. But now you can also listen to what you send to your artist without having to patch. It's really special because you really know what you're sending to them. Yes. In most situations, you're in a hurry or it's complicated enough that you're not going to go listen to the cue. You send a horrible cue to your artist and it doesn't sound good. So this is a nice feature. That's great. I like the way it's set up, And you have your mono button here and your mute button here, which is the same as clicking here. Gotcha. Voila. You also have auxes, so you can choose to show them or not, which is cool. And the auxes, I use the auxes in case the singer wants reverb while they sing. Delay, reverb. Reverb, compression, back rub. So you just do the same thing. You just send whatever you want to the aux. Say this is going to be DEDE. you can send it to her, and then you can say, okay, I'm going to want some reverb here. So you pick a reverb, something simple
That
like
Austin BX20.
or how about this one?
I love that too.
I love that. And then
Classic.
you put that in her queue.
Right.
And that's it. Just like a console, but it's all built in and it's all recordable.
Great.
This system is a very quick way to get a good sounding cue to your crew rapidly.
Great.
Okay. Got a session?
Yes.
You shouldn't have. All right, bro. Bon. C'est parti. Let's listen to it. Cool. So you said you wanted to basically bring everybody in on the chorus.
Yeah, and I want to do the bass for the whole thing though. That's just fake bass, and then I want to do drums and add some keyboards and some guitar on the chorus.
Okay. All right. So here's the cool part. We have the drums. We have the microphones. These are the preamp controls.
Right.
And you can actually modify the sound of the preamp based on the vibe you want. So for example, say you're in a knee vibe. Okay. You can decide, just in case you would be in a knee vibe. Yeah.
Been known to.
It's happened. So you select here the type of preamp you want. And this is what they call a Unison preamp. So what it does is it models the actual behavior of the actual original preamp.
Right.
And it does it in a way where it sounds genuinely realistic by an interaction of software and hardware. Because they make the hardware, and the software can control the hardware, impedance, and all sorts of stuff that I don't understand.
Oh, really?
Because I make records, not gear. But what I know is that when I listen to this, and I listen to an actual 1073 that's not broken, it sounds the same. So now we have 1073 Unison preamps in real time. The fact that I'm actually modifying the sound of the preamp in real time doesn't change the fact that there's no latency in the monitoring.
Really? No latency?
No latency.
For real? Okay.
So you can choose, you can go ahead and not be worried about it. Actually, what I would do is, considering the sound of the track, I would actually go ahead and add tape sound to it too.
Great.
So I'm actually going to add a Studer on every drum track, and I can copy it by holding Option on the Mac. So now I have a Studer A800 and an Eve 1073 on every track in real time on the way to the DAW, which means that this is actually going to get recorded.
Committed.
Totally committed. The other thing that's pretty awesome here is because of the way they do things, you can gang all the controls. So if I set up gang controls here on this A800, the entire drum set will actually get these modifications. And for your sound, from my personal experience, I think that the Scotch 250 at 30 IPS is going to sound just right.
Okay.
So this is all happening in real time. So when Miles plays now, we'll be able to actually control all this like if it were an input console, because it is really your input console. It just happens to be virtual, but it gives you all the benefits of the analog console and all the benefits of the digital console that you can, for example, now change all this to APIs if you don't like the needs.
Great.
But I suspect you're going to like the needs.
Yeah.
By the way, I set up a talkback for you, and this is how I did it. I used this fantastic microphone, which is super talkback-like, and that's going through the Twin.
Okay.
And I'm using the Twin as a preamp for this microphone, and it's muted so that I don't have to hear it in the speakers.
Right.
But I'm using this channel to send it to the cues. So now I can use a permanent input on my Twin to use as a talkback or whatever. So let's get some drums playing.
Let's do it. Miles, you want to take it from the chorus? Thanks, Miles. That was awesome.
Indeed. Let's get Josh for bass.
Okay.
How we doing, Fab?
Bananas. Make yourself coffee. I have a cable for you. This is your end.
All right.
This is my end. So Tim, I'm going to use the DI input on the AP right here. And when you plug it in, the 8P knows that you just plug some high-Z input in, so you should have sound right away. Do you have sound right away? Bananas. All right, and I'm suggesting you try this guy here because it's pretty awesome. It's the new SVT amp. I think it would be perfect for your track. Can you play a little bit? Okay. Tim, do you want to do the sound?
Yeah, sure. Let's dial it in. Thanks for giving the chair.
My chair is your chair.
Let's rock it a little bit. You want to play it from the top there?
Oh, we're using a pick.
Yeah, oh yeah. Good idea. Yeah, somewhere in there I think is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, we can rock. So let's try that.
I like that. I think it sounds great. So in case you're not sure, let me show you something. In case you have a doubt, you can go to inserts, and here you can use this setting right here. So what it does is you have choice between record and insert. If you're on record, which is the way it is right now, you are recording this plugin in real time with no latency straight into the DAW, right? If you like the sound, you want to give the vibe to the musician, but you're not 100% sure that that's what you want, maybe because you don't know the room or something, then you can switch here on a channel per channel basis to insert. At this point, it's the same for him. He still hears it. And you have the plugin in your console, so you can refer to it, but it's not getting recorded. It's just getting monitored.
Is there a way to transfer the setting if you have it on here as a monitor mode?
Yep. What you do is you copy the settings here and then paste it into your DAW.
Oh, great.
I do all the time.
Oh, good.
That's it. So,
well, I actually like the sound. I'm ready to commit.
I think it's great. So I think you have full understanding of how this stuff works. Let me show you two things so you can work by yourself.
Yeah.
For a mic, for the guitar, you can use a DI here.
All right.
Even though this is being used as your monitor for the whole thing as we discussed before, and your cue system for you, you can still use the preamp in the back and you can use a DI here.
Okay.
So that's it. I think you're totally fine to work on your own. I'm going to get out of your hair and I'm going to send mic in.
Awesome. Mr. Murphy. All right, I'm gonna play a little bit. All right, let's get a tone here on this. Cool, I like that a lot. So let's get the vocal sound going. Let's go get DEDE. Maybe you start by singing the first verse, and then I'll just be tweaking the sound as we go.
Sweet anticipation, clouds are dripping cotton glass, small approximation.
Start it from the beginning again. I want to put some compression on it. Go ahead.
Okay. Holding on your boarding pass, sweet anticipation. Clouds are dripping cotton glass, small approximation.
That sounds great. Can you hear yourself?
No, I can't hear myself, but I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Let's get that set up.
Okay.
How about now?
Check, check. Yes, I can hear myself.
Great. Hey, Miles, I'm going to give you a little bit of the vocal to your cans. DEDE, can you sing a little bit so we can check it?
Sure. Holding on your boarding pass, sweet anticipation.
Sounds good.
Great.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Everybody can hear themselves, so let's make some music.